On Friday, June 14th, we get the exciting Mercury Cazimi as Mercury conjoins the Sun. Expect good news, insights, and clarity as two planets join their powers. There is also an idealistic, dreamy, a little bit confusing quality as both of them go on to aspect Neptune. I'm here to tell you more and to break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. I enjoy making content for you guys, interacting with you, so I would appreciate if you take a few seconds of your time and press that like button, subscribe, and press the notification bell. It helps my channel grow, encourages me to put out more content, connect with you even more. Additionally, you can say thank you by buying me a coffee or tea or croissant. That is a great option out there as well. And before we dive in, two announcements. If you want to work with me, you have important questions you'd like an in-person consultation, you can book one on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I do relationship readings. We can look at your compatibility with your significant other. Natal chart readings, looking at your natal potential, strengths, weaknesses, karmic purpose, love, things like that, and predictive readings. All of that can be found on my website. Additionally, in the shop section of my website, you can find a variety of items I create, candles and oils. I'd like to highlight this beautiful Mercury in Gemini candle. It was created in 2023. It is in this beautiful iridescent jar, and it captures Mercury in the sign of rulership in Gemini. We are benefiting from this energy right now. You may have noticed faster thinking, faster turnaround, more connections, more action, more agility to your mind. So if you'd like to have that more regularly and to be able to access that energy more often, not just like for 2 weeks every year, you can get this candle. Highly recommend Mercury in Gemini, especially if you were born with Mercury in Pisces or Sagittarius, which are the signs of fall and detriment. If your natal Mercury is in the 6th, 8th, or 12th houses, if it's conjunct, square, opposite Saturn, or Neptune, this is my choice for you. So thank you for listening to that. Let's talk about Mercury Cazimi. So like I said, there is a Cazimi, but there's also a Cazimi in a square to Neptune, and both are tied together. First we get the Cazimi, then we get the square to Neptune. So the Cazimi happens on Friday, June 14th at 12:32 p.m. Eastern. You feel it the entire day of June 14th. I kind of look at the I'm a bit more specific and sort of I'm into like the tighter Cazimi versus a broader Cazimi. Some people consider the presence within a degree a Cazimi. I sort of look at like 15 minutes on each side of the exact conjunction. So the exact conjunction is at 12:32, and then we get about 15 minutes of the approach and then 15 minutes of separation. So that is between 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. Eastern time. All of the times I'm giving you is Eastern time, so adjust them for your time zone. This conjunction happens at 24 degrees 6 minutes Gemini, so you will feel it the most if you have planets between 21 and 27 degrees Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, mutable signs. The Cazimi is the moment of the exact conjunction. The planet is considered to be weakened when it's close to the sun, but not in the Cazimi, right? If it's sort of close but not close enough, it's almost like trying to outshine the king in the court, in the French court, let's say. It's impossible, right? The king will have the powdered wig, crazy outfit, every eye is directed towards the king. So the planetary condition of being close to Cazimi but not quite there is called combustion. So it's a weakened state. But then we get this moment of the perfect conjunction, 15 minutes on each side, when the two join and they become equal. They kind of converse. The planet converses with the sun, the king, right, in the secret chamber. It gets reborn. It gets a new mission, it gets purified, cleansed, and empowered. So what will we feel with this Cazimi? We will feel the empowerment of all our speech, intellectual, our communicative abilities, right? Mercury is very strong in Gemini. Like I said, it's versatile, it's quick, it's adaptable, it's agile, it's curious, it's capable of seeing multiple sides of the story, problem solving like a pro. The Cazimi is even stronger at that, right? Like we get the empowered Mercury, quick thinking, adaptable, curious, alert. It is likely that we may get a download around this time. You may get a literal download you've been waiting for, but a mental download, right? Some kind of insight in therapy, through your connections, through your interactions. Might be the time when you're getting good news if you've been waiting for something. Might be the time when you are having a powwow with somebody and you come up with a great idea, you come with an insight. Connections, right? Connections can profit at this time too, where you maybe come up with a new idea when you interact with someone. It's a great time for making plans. So take a minute, light Anastasia Does Astrology candle, write your list of things that you want to accomplish. It's a great time for sharing ideas, for buying, selling, negotiating, and meeting new people. So it gets a little bit, it gets a little bit complicated, I'm gonna say, by the fact that immediately after that, Mercury and the Sun square Neptune on Monday, June 17th, and we're kind of leading into that square on Saturday, Sunday, right? So we get the Cazimi, we get that insight, conception, inception of something, and then we get the square to Neptune. And the square to Neptune may suggest that there is some kind of disillusionment, that there is some kind of uncertainty, like you have a dream but you don't fully know how to make it come true. You may get disappointed by someone or something and may have to address those feelings. So it is quite likely that in the immediate you're going to feel inspired but then a little bit deflated. The good news is that on June 17th, after Mercury squares Neptune, it immediately enters Cancer and conjoins Venus. So there is good news to come for Mercury, but like don't be surprised if the Cazimi is closely connected with some element of like melancholy, sadness and uncertainty. And also watch out for the classical Neptunian tropes of trusting someone, giving your money to someone, following a cult, joining a cult, right? Beware of dealing with people who might take advantage of you, because you're likely to be more open, and the openness can be used for good or it could be used for connecting with people who don't deserve to be connected with you. So you want to be aware. As always, if you want a personal reading, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com, and let's dive into each rising sign to tell you what this might be bringing up for you. If you are an Aries rising, Mercury Cazimi occurs in the 3rd house. So this is all about your communication, your mind, right? 3rd house is very much the place of the mind. It's the place of your community, your rounds, people you see every day, places you go, technology you use, and also things you think or things you speak about. So I think having the Cazimi there highlights all of that. It could suggest a new powerful idea, a new partnership with a friend or a sibling or a neighbor, some kind of alliance, but very much idea, thought, some kind of like increased understanding maybe in your relationships with other people. If you have a business, this could be a very powerful about maybe streamlining your business, adding technology, even streamlining your surroundings. There could be exams that you need to take or some kind of knowledge you need to gain, and this is a beautiful time for doing that. The fact that Mercury and the Sun will square Neptune in the 12th suggests that there might be things outside of your control that are holding you back a little bit, and those things could be your own bad habits, your own self-defeating tendencies, or your need to serve other people, your need to contend to situations, people, the past baggage that is dragging you down a little bit. So this will change, shortly after that we'll have Venus and Mercury enter Cancer and conjoin together, and I think you might get like good news from family or some kind of support, and you will feel better. So just give it a little bit of time and trust that things will work out. As always, if you're curious to understand it more, if you want me to look at your chart and be more specific, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are a Taurus rising, Mercury Cazimi occurs in your second house. So this is all about money and values, right? You're maybe coming up with a new financial idea. Maybe you're researching investments and figuring out how to make your money grow, how to make your money work for you. Mercury Cazimi in the second house could also be suggestive of like a new book idea or a new sales idea, some type of intellectual, technological development that you can use in your professional life. The fact that second house also represents values and things that are of value to you is suggestive that the changes you're experiencing could also be more internal, in terms of you used to care about working 9 to 5, now you care about traveling the world and being free. So some type of transformation of finances. Mercury and the Sun will square Neptune immediately after the Cazimi. Neptune is in your 11th house, which can suggest an element of uncertainty, like you have a great idea, but maybe you feel like you don't have enough support at the moment, and maybe the path is not as clear. Things will change on June 17th. Mercury and Venus do enter Cancer, your third house, which could suggest that your mind will be able to find solutions and problem solve and figure things out much faster, much better. But yeah, there might be a little bit of an element of frustration with friendships, frustration with allies, even a sense of deception. I would be wary of giving money to things right now, because it's almost like you get excited about a new opportunity to invest into something, and then you realize that it's a pyramid scheme and it's not worth your time. So just stay excited, make a plan, but maybe wait until June 17th, like later in the day, to actually take action. As always, if you're curious to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to look at your natal chart or your year to come or your relationship. If you are the lovely Gemini rising, Mercury Cazimi is happening in your first house. So this is the sun, the light of identity, the energy, the courage, the leadership coming together with Mercury, which is your chart ruler. And something about who you are is transforming. And this could just be the inkling, the beginning, the conception, the seed being planted in the moist, dark soil. But you are getting insights about self, you are understanding yourself better, you're maybe planting seeds of a new career, a new purpose, a new image, right? Your style might be changing, your exercise routine, your diet might be changing. So you are somehow growing and brainstorming new roles for yourself, new opportunities to be more visible, to shine, to step into the light. There is a square to Neptune that comes shortly after the Cazimi, and Neptune is in your 10th house, and this could suggest that while you are getting excited about these new possibilities and new beginnings in your life, your work matters are staying a little bit confusing and uncertain. And so you may have to address some type of overwhelm, disappointment, disillusionment, confusion when it comes to real professional matters, right? It's like, you get excited about starting a business, but then you still have a job and the job is overwhelming and they want all of your time. So you need to find a better balance. Let me know how this resonates. And if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to look at your natal chart, your relationship, or your year to come. If you are the beautiful Cancer rising, Mercury conjoins the Sun in your 12th house. And this Cazimi shines light on your spirituality, on your mental health, on your blind spots, which could be about unhealthy things, or it could be about healthy things that were hidden that you're trying to bring to attention. So we're talking about the more negative side of the 12th house, right? There could be a breakthrough in therapy where you realize how you're standing in your own way, how you're dragging yourself down. You may become more aware about certain self-defeating habits, certain tendencies, right? Like maybe you've been waiting for your spouse to change and become a different person, and then you realize around this time that it's not up to them, that it's really up to you to make a choice how you handle the situation, right? Because like waiting for someone else to do a thing is like kind of can take a very long time, right? Like not that it will never happen, but like, do you have the time? So realizing important insights, breakthroughs in therapy, realizing your self-defeating tendencies, bad habits that are holding you back, and then with the 12th house being also the place of things that you are not bringing into consciousness but really need to bring into consciousness, like you maybe have a secret passion that is nipping, I don't know, it's like it's trying to get your attention but you're not giving it time. And so Mercury Cazimi in the 12th house could be about that. It could be about realizing that you need to learn about astrology or about tarot, or you maybe are meant to do healing work. Maybe you're meant to take your knowledge and apply it to helping other people. The Sun and Mercury both square Neptune in the 9th shortly after the Cazimi, which could suggest that you're dealing with some kind of confusion related to education. Maybe you're trying to become a healer, but you need to figure out how to get there, how to actually apply, get scholarships and things like that. And you may just feel a little bit uncertain. There may be some ideological questions that need to be addressed, also related to this kind of like blind spots, right? Like maybe you are coming to terms with things, but people are not. And so you need to address certain belief systems. And there might also be like some confusion that involves travel, education, legal matters that in the moment feels really frustrating, but the good energy is coming really shortly. Venus and Mercury both enter Cancer, which is your sign, on June 17th and conjoin, and that to me represents an energetic shift and a more clarity, more insights, more forward momentum for you guys. Let me know how this resonates. If you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are a Leo rising, Mercury Cazimi happens in your 11th house, and here we're in the realm of friendships, networks, social media, hopes, and dreams. Your role in the collective, right? So when Mercury Cazimi happens here, there might be good news, there might be opportunities that are knocking on your door, something that is brought into your life by friends, right? Like maybe a friend reaches out and suggests you start a podcast together, or suggests you go on a trip together, or you open a business together, or something like that. 11th house represents like hopes and dreams. So when we have the Sun and Mercury together, the hopes and dreams might involve speaking, sharing your knowledge, being more visible, expanding your life somehow, right? Like maybe it involves you being an influencer, maybe it involves you being a teacher, maybe it involves you connecting with and helping other people through like working for a nonprofit or being involved with a charity of some sort. So it's all about giving back. It's all about reaching your dreams and working with other people. There is a square to Neptune in the 8th house, and Neptune in the 8th might suggest that there are certain entanglements you have that need to be addressed, and in the moment they may feel a little bit restrictive and limiting. You may feel a little bit disappointed by, you have this dream and you have this vision that is quite clear, but maybe you don't have enough resources, so you need to deal with debts and it's kind of dragging you down, it's slowing you down. Try to, move slowly, move steadily, one step at a time. This energy will improve as Mercury enters Cancer and conjoins Venus on June 17th, and then they both will be trining Saturn, trining Neptune. So there is a suggestion of things improving and answers coming your way, but maybe not immediately. Let me know how this resonates. If you want to know more, book a reading on my website, AnastasiaDoesAstrology.com. Now, if you are the beautiful Virgo rising, Mercury Cazimi is highlighting your 10th house. So professional opportunities, changes in status, right? Changes in your public life, what people know of you, what they see of you. Maybe you're starting a new project where your life is more public. Maybe there is a professional opportunity of growth and expansion. Maybe there's good news, some kind of like scholarship you've been waiting for, or an opportunity to lead the project you wanted to lead. It is a bit frustrated, confused, creates an element of uncertainty because the Sun and Mercury will square Neptune in your 7th house. So somehow your professional aspirations are a bit at odds with your relationships and your partnerships, right? So I think a very sort of easy example might be if you're married and you're getting an opportunity to travel, but you have kids and your spouse has like an active, demanding job. So you need to figure out how to navigate the demands of the relationship and the committed sort of partnership. Maybe it's a business partnership and your desire for professional expansion. So in the immediate, there might be a sense of like, oh, I don't know if this can work. I'm not sure if we can figure it out. But after June 17th, Mercury and Venus will enter Cancer, and the energy will improve and start to feel better. There might be some answers coming that will give you more clarity. If you want to know more, if you want me to look at your chart, if you want to talk about the year coming up, you have a birthday coming up, you want to get a relationship reading, you know where to find me, AnastasiaDoesAstrology.com. Now, if you are the beautiful Libra rising, Mercury conjoins the Sun in your 9th house. And 9th house is the realm of the higher mind. It's the realm of education. So if you've been waiting for some kind of news and a scholarship, if you've been thinking about applying to a university or even going to take a course, some kind of, higher qualification, things like that, this might be the time you get the news, you get the green light, you get the go-ahead. 9th house represents travel. So opportunities to travel might be abundant at this time. Perhaps you're creating those opportunities. It also represents writing, publishing, and legal matters. So some type of answer, if you're waiting for like a green card or paperwork for something, the answers might be coming your way. New ideas, I think, new ideas that involve teaching, that involve traveling, that involve writing might be coming your way right now as well. Maybe you're even considering moving, right? Or you're exploring new ideas. You're opening yourself up to fresh new possibilities. There is a square to Neptune in the 6th that suggests that there is an element of, Neptune in the 6th could suggest that maybe you are feeling a little bit disillusioned, or you're feeling like a little bit of your motivation gets drained, or you're just feeling like disillusioned by the fact that you need to take care of other people, by the fact that your work is really demanding, by the fact that life is full of commitments and sort of harsh realities. So Neptune in the 6th house definitely creates, I think, that sense of just like overload, overwork, maybe some type of projects that are a little bit confusing, right? Like your boss gives you an assignment and doesn't give you exact direction. So your mind is like excited about a new trip you're going on, but you have to deal with these unclear instructions on a quest, on the professional quest you're on. So be patient. Mercury and Venus will enter Cancer, your 10th house of career. On June 17th, they will be trining Saturn and Neptune. So the positive shift is coming, and like professional matters will definitely improve. Let me know if you've been feeling like they have been difficult, if you have noticed some type of tensions in early June with all the Gemini planets squaring Pisces Saturn and Pisces Neptune. And if you're curious, if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. I'd be happy to look at your natal chart, your relationship for compatibility analysis, or your year to come. If you are the beautiful Scorpio rising, Mercury Cazimi occurs in your 8th house. And here you are going through a moment of clarity when it comes to joining your resources with somebody, when it comes to partnerships, agreements, alliances, any type of like negotiations might be going ahead, might be getting some type of clarity. 8th house also represents traumatic events, sort of sudden events, and Mercury Cazimi could be the time when you get the news about something that's like sudden, but maybe it benefits you. Like you find out you had an uncle and the uncle left you an inheritance and you didn't even know you had the uncle. So it's like hopefully just the gifts without too much emotional distress. But Mercury Cazimi in the 8th could offer opportunities for healing, for processing some traumatic events. It could offer opportunities for more intimacy, more sharing, right? Like maybe you feel a distress, you feel stress coming on, maybe you just feel stress, right? Something, I feel like there's like, I'm trying to say like a distressful state. You're feeling an emotional episode coming on, right? And you share with your partner, you share with your friend, you share with your family member, and they come through for you. They help you understand things. They kind of show you that they're there and you're not alone. So a lot of exciting possibilities around that. There is a square to Neptune in the 5th, which could suggest a certain element of like confusion, uncertainty, disillusionment involving your romantic relationship, maybe just an element of like not having a full picture, feeling a little bit uncertain about things. There might also be tensions around parenthood, children, maybe your relationship with children. Maybe it's like, you get excited about a new possibility in your romantic relationship, but then the square to Neptune suggests that your child needs your attention or your child requires a lot of your time, so it's hard to balance those two. The energy will improve when Mercury and Venus enter Cancer on June 17th because they will conjoin, helping us navigate difficult conversations, and they will also be trining Neptune and Saturn in the 5th, offering solutions and helping you problem solve. Let me know how this resonates. If you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. If you are the lovely Sagittarius rising, Mercury conjoins the Sun in your 7th house. Good news, opportunities, insights that involve relationships and business partnerships. So with Mercury Cazimi, you have the knowledge of how to talk about your feelings, of how to problem solve, of how to compromise and get along, right? It could suggest that there is some type of good news about a contract you've been waiting to sign, anything from buying a home to signing a lease to professional contract. Relationships might be moving forward. You might be discussing the future with your partner, coming to some kind of realization, getting on the same page with your significant other. So all kinds of relationships might benefit, and insights and clarity in relationships is likely. There is a square to Neptune in the 4th house, which could represent that while you are entering a new chapter in your relationship, there's still some confusion, there's still some uncertainty that involves your living situation, your real estate matters, your family, right? That is somehow raining on your parade a little bit. Maybe you feel excited about, maybe you feel like you're getting closer with your significant other, but you're not quite sure where you're gonna live, right? Like maybe you want to live in your hometown and they want to move to a different town. And so you may feel an element of like, this is exciting, but I don't quite know how to make things work yet. Neptune in the fourth can also suggest that you have family responsibility that is somehow holding you back from like fully diving into a connection. I think that once Mercury and Venus enter Cancer on June 17th and they start harmoniously aspecting Neptune and Saturn, you will have a little bit more clarity and you're likely to get some answers. So be patient. And as always, if you're curious and you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadasastrology.com. If you are a Capricorn rising, Mercury conjoins the Sun in your sixth house, suggesting insights around your health, around your work life, diet, exercise, even your pets, right? There might be some kind of positive developments, like you've always wanted to get a dog and now you've figured out how to handle your allergies and you're ready to get a dog. But with Mercury Cazimi in the sixth house, I think there might be, like, sixth house is always the place of just like commitment, blood, sweat, and tears. You're suffering for something, right? So this might be very different for different people. For some, it might be their actual job. For others, it might be their spiritual calling. For others, it might be about committing to a diet, committing to an exercise routine. I think with this Cazimi, you're getting insights about your health and your life and your choices. And I think it brings you, it encourages you, I think, to commit to something, right? To commit to taking better care of your physical health, to commit to learning about diet because you're becoming a nutritionist, to declutter your home, to maybe start new projects in the home, maybe even commit to looking for a home, right? Because with North Node and Aries, let's be honest, a lot of Capricorn risings have been going through complicated situations around home, family, and living situation. There is a square to Neptune in the third, so you may have to deal with some logistical matters, you know, maybe just your schedule being overwhelming, maybe people not communicating very clearly, having to wait for someone to get back to you. And so your desire, your sort of like excitement about new beginnings may be a little bit, you may feel a little disappointed with the fact that people are just like not keeping their words, and maybe you have to deal with some frustration and uncertainty. By the way, let me know, how have things been? What do you think the sixth house transit is about? Are you noticing you're committing something? Is it about your health? Is it about new pursuits? Or your living situation? I'd love to know. And if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadasastrology.com. If you are an Aquarius rising, Mercury Cazimi occurs in your fifth house. Fifth house is about pleasure, it's about love, it's about self-expression and children. So with the conjunction of the Sun and Mercury here, you're maybe gaining some clarity about what you enjoy doing. Like, this might be the time when you discover a new passion. You pick up crocheting and you're like, oh my God, where has it been my entire life? You're maybe starting a new creative project. You're maybe starting a new romance, right? Maybe you're starting to date someone who's very mercurial, someone who's like chatty and curious and social, or you are talking about children. But it feels to me like it's just like a very playful and childlike energy that encourages you to have fun. And there might be opportunities to date, to go on a trip with your significant other, to maybe start a fun project, to pick up a hobby. There is a square to Neptune in the second house, which suggests that financial matters might be of concern right now. There might be certain questions of values that you need to address. There might just be like a sense of, you know, you get thrilled about a new possibility and ready to explore new heights, new pursuits, have fun with your significant other, but you have to deal with like a debt you still have to pay, or your resources are tied up because you're committed to getting a mortgage or something like that. So there might be a little bit of like tension surrounding money, even like disagreements between you and your partner when it comes to money, and things you need to talk about are quite likely. This does improve on June 17th. Mercury and Venus both enter Cancer and conjoin, and then they will be trining Saturn, trining Neptune, and you're likely to experience more clarity at that point. Let me know how this resonates. If you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Now, if you are the beautiful Pisces rising, Mercury Cazimi occurs in your 4th house. 4th house is the place of home, family, living situation. So when it comes to literal home, Mercury Cazimi could bring good news and opportunities to move, or an opportunity to connect with your landlord, maybe good news about a renovation project, some kind of improvement in your home. There might be blessings coming from family, like a family sends you a check in the mail, or a family member helps you find a job you've been looking for. Yeah, like definitely kind of positive developments around real estate, around your home, maybe even good news about moving or selling a home if you've been trying to sell. 4th house also represents comfort, security, childhood, the past. So I could see Mercury Cazimi as the moment of insight on your past, on your childhood, on your familial relationships, and perhaps a sense of deeper understanding, which leads to more clarity, to more peace internally, right? And with the Cazimi in the 4th house, there might also be like opportunities to maybe bring some kind of technology into your home, or, you know, change a TV, or bring more like comfort, sort of upgrade your home on some level, I think. There is a square to Neptune in the 1st, so while you're getting excited about new possibilities that involve home, family, and living situation, there is some type of concerns around, you know, your maybe schedule, your health, your identity, even your own kind of self-defeating tendencies that you have to address, that you have to maybe get clear on and figure out how to handle things. Neptune in the 1st can definitely be a sign that you are somehow maybe standing in your own way. Maybe it's like a time to bring some kind of healthy practices, use that Neptunian energy to connect with your spirituality, to, you know, express your feelings strongly and healthily and honestly. Let me know how this resonates, and if you want to know more, book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do right now. Now is a great time. And I will talk to you very soon when it will be the time for my next video. Bye.